Healers. Welcome to this video. I am recording on tuning into being a sensitive and learning how to manage that in a deeply powerful way. I am asked this question often. It comes up frequently, and I'm grateful I'm asked this because it is something that really gets to be addressed. How do I manage my energy when I'm around all these people and I'm so sensitive? I hear you, and I literally feel you. And what I have learned over time is to manage my own field. And let me explain what I mean by this. And I'm going to start by explaining something deeply powerful. And that is understanding the light and the dark. Just literally like the thing that we experience as light and as dark. And we all have our own relationship to those two things, and that's awesome. I'm not labeling anything good or bad here, or right or wrong. So the light is this very powerful emission of all the colors, all the frequencies, all the photons and neutrons and protons, right? All of this is happening through light, the expression of light. And darkness, believe it or not, is not the absence of light. And I invite you to do the research on this for yourself. So contrary to what we're taught often, part of the fun of the game we came to play is what we were taught and then what we get to learn and experience on our own. There are many things we were taught as a child that now we're like, that does not serve me. That doesn't even resonate in my body, right? Many, many things. And so that's why I invite you to tune in for yourself about light. So darkness is the absorption of the light. It is an inverse of the light to give it a mathematical term. And this is super helpful to understand because when we remember the states of matter, gas and liquid and solid and plasma, this is super helpful to tune back into, because in order for us to see me, in order for you to see me, in order for you to see any object that you get to see, it in its solid state of matter is vibrating its frequency, right? That up and down measurement that we call a frequency. Remember, it's up and down. It isn't just, if it's a high frequency, that means it's just hitting the highs faster and hitting the lows just as fast. You can't escape the high and the low. They come together. They are cyclical. They are the cycle, right? The light and the dark. You can't skip one and not have the other, right? We will have the sunrise and we will have the day and then we will have the night, right? The darkness. And the reminder is that that sun is still present. Even when we can't see it, it's still present. Even when it is cloudy and raining outside, and we're like, it's not sunny. Funny enough, of course, the sun is still there. If we were to just pass those clouds, as you have times when you are flying, you see that sun still there. And so it's with this reminder that in the solid state where everything is moving more slowly, so too the light is being absorbed. Now, again, go look this up for yourself. The light is being absorbed in order for you to see the state of solid, the solid matter that is before you. I am darkness. I am an absorption of light. And so are you. And so are all of us. And that's the beauty of understanding this nature where things are just what they are. They don't have to be labeled good or bad or right or wrong. Isn't that beautiful to get to see that? In a lot of places where we've created a lot of labeling that often is a super weak descriptor. Words that are weak descriptions when there are many other words to help us describe what we're trying to communicate. So with that in mind, we are the light, because light emits. It moves outwardly, right? And the absorption moves inwardly. So that light is that positive energy that moves outward, which is necessary for life. And the darkness is that negative energy which moves inward, which again, the ebb and the flow are absolutely necessary for life. One isn't good and one isn't bad. That doesn't really help us. If it's neutral, it is what it is. And as we understand that more and more, we get to understand how to move through life and energy and not feel like we are constantly a victim of being zapped of our energy, and oh, this person, affected my energy so badly. Every time I go into the space of a healing space and I come out, I am sick. I don't feel well, I'm not okay. When I'm with these people, I'm not okay, right? Like when I go to malls, I'm not okay, I don't feel well, right? Like being in the masses. And again, it just is what it is. It means that you get to build up your emission, because you are absorbing rather than your energy being emissive. You're actually absorbing in those scenarios. And so how beautiful you get to learn to create more of a light body that emits more and more energy outward when you are amongst the masses or in a healing space. Or else you will continue to feel sick and not feel well and feel drained and be asking others, how are you doing it? Because I don't get it. And this is okay, the beauty of how we get to share with one another. So there are practices in which you can do to build your light body, your emissive state, so you can continue to emit. Again, not good or bad, because it's necessary for you to do both, to absorb and to emit. And so these serve us. And the time, obviously, it deeply serves you to really tune into that emission is when you are amongst a lot of people or in a healing space or in the energy of somebody that you tend to not resonate with as much, but there's something there for you. There's information for you coming to you to let you know that you're on guard, and your guard is actually creating this absorptive state, if that is an English word. So then you get to learn to do and move your energy the other way. One way in which you could do this is through meditating, and in a very specific way. As you are meditating, you can see yourself absorbing more light from your head, visualizing that coming down through your skull, through every part, your neck, your torso, every part of your body, your arms, your hands, and it emitting outward. Feel that light pouring into your body and allow it to be absorbed all the way through and down and into the earth. So you could visualize that the sun is pouring this light into you. And then you can see your own toroidal field emitting that light outwardly, down through the earth and up through the sky at the same time. This envisioning actually supports you in remembering that you are light, even as you are dark. And in order to up the ante, the volume of your emission, this is a great practice to do. There are more things. I can literally, you guys, there are so many different things in which you can practice this. Another idea is getting a magnet and creating a wand with it, or just using a magnet and use that to sweep yourself and allowing that energetic field that you are to continue to charge. Tuning forks, being in a tuning fork session or a sound therapy session, and you visualizing yourself moving through this energetic emission allowing yourself to receive the frequencies and to emit them continues to build the container that you are to be more emissive. Again, rather than absorptive, when you're, rather than absorbing, right? When you are in the presence of these different scenarios, crowds, people, etc. This is super helpful, right? You've got that family member, you've got that, whoever it is, right? This is where this is literally, it's rich. I'm like dropping thousands of dollars right here for you guys. And having said that, if you wanted to go further with this, this is embodiment work that I help you do so that it is in your body, this practice, these practices that support you in emitting who you are, who you be. And it allows you to have that sensitivity, which is a rich gift that you have, and be able to switch the volume on it so that you are not overwhelmed by what it is that comes in. Having said that, there are so many factors to recognize as well. For example, let's say you've sat with a plant medicine and now you go to a big event. That is another scenario where you're in a really tender, beautiful, vulnerable space that you get to create an integrative space for. And so there are times when it's very wise to spend less time in such a scenario, crowds, right? Even holding off from you tuning into a healing space to offer more healing, right, to others. You get to refrain so you can recharge for yourself. Again, recharge. This is so key, where you are prepping your own body to be emissive so it could continue to extend that energy outward of that light. And there are more practices to absorbing the energy, right? Being the darkness, absorbing that, and then emitting. So yeah, if you're interested, you guys know where to find me. You know that Authentic Lourdes online, that website is right down here in the description box, and you can always book a discovery call. We can always connect. But yeah, it's such a beautiful practice to be in the spaces where you create that emissive energy. It puts the power back into your hands. Power means poder, can, what I am able to do. That's what the root of power means. And so it puts that power in your hands. When people are practicing control over others, right? That's a whole nother thing that feels so limiting. And we're here to feel very expansive and so excited. And when we do touch base to anything that feels like a limit, it touches us back into what we get to tune into at another level. What else we're able to tune into, it's always information that blesses us. So with that in mind, you guys, I wanted to share that with you. Thank you for letting me, and check back later for other videos coming from Authentic Lourdes, your mirror, here for all of it, all of life, empowering you for all of it too.